You ready?
Yeah.
Right, don't be Okay.
You've got a little bit square back neck, so I'm going to take that away, which means...
Sounds offensive.
That really does.
We're walking out of here with loads of new insecurities.
Don't work with these guys. Hi, Britt.
Hi, Robin. Oh, thank you.
Here's your coffee. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invite. And it's really funny because nobody knows how we met, and I was really surprised when you sent me the message being like, hey, do you want to come over and meet us? Because we met in an airport line.
In Florence.
Terrible situation.
Me and the rest of my team were waiting for the airport, all very excited to go home. Mm-hmm. And when we got to the front of the line, we heard that we were picked or been put on this list with 25 other people that decided that we couldn't get on the plane that day, or at least not from the Florence airport. Had to go to Milan.
4 hours.
4 hours on the bus. Everyone after a couple of days of a lot of networking, let's say.
Networking's the right word.
And then on the flip side, it was quite nice. We were probably the 25 best dressed people ever to have been on a layover for a day or something. So, and also I had great conversations with yourself, but then also with some other people that are there. Felt like Florence got, or a pity at least, got extended with a day.
It did feel like it got extended.
By coincidence, that morning, I was scrolling through my Instagram and I saw one of your reels. I was like,
with
this
Rikesh.
Is cool. Rikesh, I think. Yeah, so because Rikesh, I also know a little bit. And I was saying to the guys, like, oh, this is really cool, like nice content, stuff like that. And then, we meet, and exactly that.
Behind you in the airport queue.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was coincidence. Yeah, exactly that. Really wanted to show you what we're doing because our company is fairly new. I think this is our 4th year now, and we sort of really established ourselves a little bit in the UK market, and now I really want to show our creative side a bit.
So your background was familial background is traditional tailoring, right?
Yes, my family business is a tailoring business in Belgium. It's called Butch Tailors. It was established in 1956. My father took it over in the 90s, I believe, end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s. It's always been quite well known in Belgium. There used to be every grandfather had a Butch Tailor suit in their wardrobe. And then for whatever reason, the business didn't go so well. And then in the 90s, my dad was able to get the name, and then he rebuilt it back to former glory, let's say. So at the height, I think we had 14 retail shops. I wasn't the best student ever, so I started doing something marketing, whatever. It failed horribly, and then so my parents said, last chance, you can go.
It's a lost hope.
Exactly, because I always had the option to go and work for my family business. Last chance, you go to. It was in Roubaix. I went to fashion management school, and then part of that course, you get to do a 3 months internship somewhere. Through my father, I had the option to come to London to work at number 1 Savaro, Gives and Hawks.
The infamous Gives and Hawks.
Infamous Gives and Hawks. Turns out I'm better at working than I am at studying.
This is what people need to know, that
Exactly.
They don't have to follow this traditional path in order to get somewhere.
Exactly that. The time I was at Gives, that was sort of my university, not only for work, but also being in a new city, having to connect with other people. For me, I'm coming from Belgium, which is a small country, and then a smaller city, so for me it was like a whole new world that went open, which I really obviously enjoyed because I'm still here. So I worked for Gives, I think for 3.5 years, 4 years. I worked in the wholesale department. Actually, my commercial director, who works at Abitiana, was my boss at the time, Adam Clacker. Then I started working for my father to do private tailoring, learned my trade, like the actual private tailoring part of it. Got to know the supplier which I now work with, which I built our BTI, my company, or our company around. It's basically a platform that works with our production out of China that allows for anyone that wants to set up a tailoring brand that can come to us and we provide the service. We can do bread and butter, we can make 2-piece suits and shirts and everything all day, every day, in the more traditional sense of the word. But I always had the idea to wanting to bring tailoring into streetwear, or the other way around, I guess.
Well, we can tell based on your outfit. The first time I met you, you were dressed like really streetwear, like quite quirky as well, which was definitely juxtaposed to James, who was with you dressed like he's out of Country Living magazine.
Exactly, we call it Edinburgh chic. James, for the people listening, is my co-founder. I made him a suit when I was still doing private tailoring for my father, and that's how we got introduced. At Pity, we had a picture taken with a very, very cool guy from Paris, and I was wearing this this coat, and then James was just in his navy two-piece from Dugdale's.
But it worked.
And it worked, and
It
both were
worked.
in, and it made me laugh so much
So
because
funny.
it's just the one picture tells, tells the story there. But yeah, so I wore this coat, and people are just screaming across the streets, and I love your coat. I love streetwear. I've always loved streetwear, but I think my angle was always like, how can I combine both my career and then this? But I now come to realize that everything is tailoring in essence, because you make a pattern for something and then you just apply the fabric to it, and whether people make the decision whether it's streetwear or it's tailoring.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
What's the name of the brand?
We're going to call it For the Girls and For the Boys. I want to dress my friends and then, and people that have interest in wanting to invest a little bit more into their clothing. I want to make something which, for yourself, which we're going to get into in a little bit, or other people that fit you, but that you can be creative. I don't want to pigeonhole people into different things. I just want to make cool stuff.
The way you've started this is reactive to, which we'll get into, like fabrics, design, people's creativity. So everything you do seems to be really reactive, which I think is it's interesting, and it's a really good business model, but it's exciting because it's never going to be stagnant.
One day I'm pitching for the BTI client, and I'm trying to sell, a wedding business who does wedding suits, and that's very exciting. But then on the next day I get to do something like this. So it really is, as long as I can weave my creativity through it, I think that I'll always feel quite fulfilled with it.
Absolutely.
We're in an older industry, let's say. We're not in an industry where everyone's trying to fight to get for the same thing. So here, if you're trying to do something slightly different, you can really stand out and be your own thing, and really maybe arrogant to say, but like move the
create waves.
Yeah, create waves, move the needle slightly,
educate
people where it's not just tailoring. Purist, like, oh, this is my thing. Like, shouldn't matter. Like, do whatever you want to do, and in that way, there's enough space for everyone. Get people to understand that it's better to buy into, clothes that are made for you, rather than going to, off the shelf, and then it doesn't really always fit you. Because I think fit is everything. So even with streetwear, if you wear something and it's the coolest piece, if you don't wear it well or it doesn't fit you, it's not going to translate.
When people always ask me like, oh, how can I get into dressing better? I'm like, number one, have something fit you. But speaking of making cool things, we're just going to touch on fabric because it's right in front of us. Yeah, this is something we both really bond over because, as we've said, you're reactive. Fabric is one of those reactions.
Obviously, there's beautiful fabrics out there, and all the mills and everything they make, but they are making with the idea of that is what's commercial. Every single vendor has a shark skin, navy, and a flannel, and a this and that. It's a lot of the same, which I think is fine because that is where the money is. I get that, and I always said I wanted to create one book with like limited offcut fabrics, like. Stuff like this with flowers, with a bit more color, which isn't your traditional rolls of fabrics that you can buy. I then first went to Shepherd's Bush Market, which has all the lovely
I've never heard of this.
Fabric shops, but it wasn't sustainable in the sense that quite time consuming. A bit by coincidence, or probably the way it should have happened always, is we signed on a client on the BTI platform. His name is Stephen Williams. He did the Beckham wedding suits in the 90s, the purple ones. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so iconic.
Yeah, iconic, exactly.
Iconic.
So before he started working with us, he was always working with these amazing fabrics. So there's a company in Italy that we buy from, and that person has access to end of roll designer, vintage or current designer fabrics, which they used to burn.
They didn't want anyone to have access to them, did they?
Because otherwise, maybe someone gets their hands on it, less value, stuff like that. So they used to burn them, which obviously is not possible anymore.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I also find very ridiculous. But he has access to all of them. I'm yet to go and see him to his warehouse, but he always brings me a big bag full with swatches, which what we went through last time in order to get to this, basically. So since he's come on board, he's introduced me to all this, and then basically came right at the right time.
Moment.
So exactly.
Has it changed how you view creating pieces now?
But it's funny you say, because when we first started, he bought a fabric, let's say, and I'm always going like, oh, this for me is a pair of trousers, this is shirts, this is that, this is this, and he sees something completely. He's like, oh no, for me this is a jacket, and that's the cool part about it, is like everyone has their own way of seeing what a fabric could be. It all came together at the right time, which is nice when it sometimes happens.
I think we need to figure out how you're so good at serendipitous moments, because I think I could learn a thing or two from you. The thing I find the most cool is it's limitless creativity, because you're constantly reacting to fabric that's available and you have no idea what's going to be available next. And also sustainable.
Yep.
And also it means that a lot of these pieces are limited runs, they're never going to be created again, so the people that buy them are buying really special pieces, and I just think that that's really rare to have access to those three things combined, because even if somebody can't have access to something that you own, like vintage, for example, when somebody goes, oh my god, that piece is amazing, you're like, yeah, sorry, it's vintage, it's probably one of a kind. It allows them to be inspired by it, and that's what you want. You don't want to walk down the street and just see somebody that's dressed like everyone else. You want to be able to inspire each other, don't you? I originally picked another fabric, and then we had to react to the fact that that fabric wasn't available anymore, which is...
I was slightly sad that we couldn't get it, but it's the nature of it.
Exactly, but that's what's beautiful about it, is you can't be precious about something, you have to just react to it, which I love. That's creativity.
I really love this one.
It's the most non-me fabric, but the most you fabric.
Yeah, for like a pair of trousers or something, and then also the same, sold out, and I was like, but it's just what it is. It's very lightweight, I think a wool silk mix.
It's lovely.
Very soft. And we've got just 6 meters of this, so this is a one of a kind. It really is.
I'm gonna call it the Brit. There's only I've got to actually be careful, because I keep trying to call everything the Brit, and I'm like, I can't have that many the Brits. There has to be.
So maybe it's a capsule collection.
I really tried to find a balance between masculine and feminine, and so when you said, oh, there's another option, it's got pink in it, and then I instantly said, I will message you back, like, pink's not my vibe. The pop of pink is beautiful.
It's nice because it's understated as well.
It's so subtle. The
weight of it. So I think, I don't know.
For spring, summer.
It's perfect, but I think this is 260 grams or something.
Because we met in Florence, it would be beautiful to, it's only right to make it for Florence.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there, which is a shame. It's Pitty's fault.
You heard it here first. It's Pitty's fault.
You changed the date.
You changed it, Pitty. Now we're showing people that we are actually reacting our design. We're basing our design on the fabric itself, and we're talking about, like, what do I have missing in my wardrobe? Well, you can never have too many trousers.
Never.
I know we're talking about sustainability, but I'm sorry, I can never have too many trousers.
No, because every day you need to wear a new pair of trousers.
I've got 2 legs.
Yeah, exactly.
I really struggle personally with springtime jackets. I cannot find a good springtime jacket.
Okay. I think structured things work quite well for you.
Yeah.
So like heavier fabrics, things that less flowy, and I think that is something I really want to work on, that and hopefully get right, is to get that same look that you like.
Yeah.
But get it in a summer version.
Even when I don't wear trousers, even when I wear skirts, I wear a lot of high-waisted.
Yep.
So the crop is really important, and I think a lot of places fail to get the crop right. Men in our industry wear a lot of high-waisted, and they also struggle with finding the right crop on a jacket, because when you've, created a pair of trousers that are so beautifully tailored and structured, and then you just put this jacket over it that's down halfway down your thigh, you're like, oh my god, I've just ruined the most beautiful pair of trousers by putting this chunky jacket over the top.
Okay, nice. Well, good challenge for me.
Yeah. Oh no, I said no panic. No pressure.
That's fine.
Make the perfect jacket.
So the platform that we have is it's an order management platform which speaks to our factory. It's all data entry in a sense, right? So we've got, you can work off body measurements, but you also have, we've got ready blocks and everything, and that's the adjustments that you then make, plus minus, everything, and to get to that end result. So the next time, everything goes much quicker, and then 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later,
you're a creative catalogue for people, basically.
Yeah,
so they can walk in, trust your expertise, which I'm going to trust because I am not a tailor, nor do I have a tailoring background, which I think I need to just clarify for people, because people come to me and always ask me like lots of questions, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, I just love it. I don't have any. I just know the people that have the answers.
That have the answers, exactly. But that's almost as good, I think.
I know who to ask.
Obviously, we have so many different options of styling within the platform available. Yeah, pretty old school, I write things. Would you want your initials in there?
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, how exciting, absolutely. I don't want to sound like self-indulgent, but I try and monogram everything.
I genuinely think that is the essence of what we do.
It's luxury. If you grow up, I grew up in the north, I've never heard monogrammed in my life. Yeah. I was like, monogram, what's that? You can do what?
On the jacket, do you want a single or double? Yeah, so this is for me a crop jacket. on me. This is done for me. So this is a double-breasted, but I went with a notched lapel rather than a peak lapel to change a little bit, the style of it. And then we added these beautiful metal buttons. And then this is fully unconstructed. There's nothing in there, no lining, nothing. For a crop jacket, it's nice because I wear this. I don't do it up, but
it would look cool, wouldn't it?
Cool.
This is cool.
The only thing I would say is probably this is 350 grams.
It's a bit more structured.
A bit more body to it. But we can also do this, but instead of doing it like super soft and everything, I just put a canvas in, line it. Kind of like this style again, because
I really love this style.
It's going away from the tradition. So that is an option. Otherwise, I would say probably go, one button, one button, slightly wider lapel, peak lapel, maybe a roped shoulder, and go a bit more structured that way. But it's up to you, really.
God, I know this sounds awful because I constantly promote made to measure and bespoke, and I'm really passionate about it, and I'm really bad at decisions. And they're all about decisions.
What I really want from this is that we create
really
something different and is something that one stands out, because I guess the aim
we really want it to
stand out. But I also want you to wear it. Not just like, I hope the best feedback I could ever have is that, once you have it after a month or something, we catch up over a drink or whatever, and you say like, actually, this is the jacket I keep going back to.
And you split the pieces up and wear it like with jeans or whatever, which I think is the biggest compliment you can pay a suit is when you can split it up.
Use it. I 100% agree. Always, clothes are meant to be worn, not to just look at from afar. So
I think we should go double-breasted.
Double-breasted. I think I really like this style. I think, but I'm going to do slightly more structure. But do you like the notch lapel versus a normal, more traditional peak lapel on a double-breasted? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. It'd be cool.
Yeah, because it's still quite a nice width to the lapel. It's not like a really.
No. So this is a nice 10 width. This is a 10 centimeter. Yeah. Again, that's all options within the platform that we can choose. I also like so what we did here is 2 buttons.
Just 2 buttons.
Yeah, a bit different.
I like it. It's a bit more, it brings a casualness to it.
Exactly. And then we've got the patch pockets here.
The patch pockets make it, don't hate me, but it makes it feel a bit more workweary, which is really nice because it creates a casualness again.
Perfect. I agree with that. Yeah. Actually, I hadn't thought about it that way, but that's probably correct. Nice.
I would split that up and wear it by itself. So that's the biggest compliment you can pay a suit jacket.
Nice. So we're gonna do DB, I think.
God, I love a button.
Yeah, who doesn't? I think, from what I can see for yourself, but please tell me, it's probably the horn option.
You absolutely are correct.
Right? Yeah. Cool.
You couldn't have been more right.
Then linings-wise, are you a funky lining person or more understated, just like tonal?
I'll let you answer your own question.
Yeah, I knew already. Tonal, probably. That's what I do as well.
I'm your worst nightmare, aren't I?
My approach to it is asking people what they don't want. You're in tailoring, so that's slightly different. But people that aren't in tailoring whatsoever, that don't have any idea, you make it way too hard for them, and they start to
it's overwhelming.
question things, and then you usually get a message if you really give them all the options. Later that evening,
change their mind.
Can I change this? Can I change that? Or how is this going to look? My own style, let's say, is a bit more understated. Again, understated.
Understated in his
but everything's color.
Trousers.
Everything's color works too color-wise.
This is one of my favourite colours of all time.
Oh, well, same
like
for me.
Sort of mauvey.
Yeah, it's like a dusty pink.
Dusty pink. I love a dusty pink.
Exactly. So yeah, for me, it would probably be. I like this. I think for it.
Okay, I trust you. That's nice.
It's nice.
Very nice, yeah.
Because it sort of brings it out, but has a little contrast to it. So on the trousers, we were talking about it before, but we're gonna go double pleats.
I love a double pleat.
You like to wear a belt as well, right?
Yeah, but not on tailored trousers.
Okay, cool. So you have them side adjusters?
I usually have a side adjuster.
But yeah, for tailoring, I agree, because it shouldn't. It fits you, so you shouldn't.
Well, exactly. If you've gone to the effort of getting made to measure, it better be made to fit you. And that's
it. I think a nice sort of bronze buckle will be nice on this, on the green, again, to sort of emphasize green. But then do you like a turn up on your trouser?
Depends on the weight of the fabric normally. I don't know.
This could be nice.
I don't have. Do I have any turn up? I don't think I have a turn up.
Oh, you don't?
I don't have a turn up on any of my trousers.
Oh, but then I would maybe say try it. But
It'd make them feel very 1930s, wouldn't it?
Exactly, but since we're going to go for that more, maybe like slightly wider style, you know, you wear heels? You wear heels sometimes?
Oh,
or
yeah, this
like
is this is a very important question for people. I do, but no more than like an inch and a half.
No, but I wouldn't expect.
I mean, today I'm really misrepresenting myself.
Okay.
But only because these jeans are too long.
Yeah, I mean, but it's that sort of fit which I think I really see for you is on the shoe.
Yeah, because I think because it's got the pop of pink, I would probably wear like I might go for a small heel just to play on pull the pink out femininity-wise, if that makes sense. Even though pink is not feminine, but.
Yeah. Do you like you wear pocket like hip pockets?
I try not to have pockets on the back.
Yeah, I would say
side pocket.
I would say go on-seam pockets.
Yeah, a nice on-seam pocket.
So on-seam it goes nicely, you know, with the fit of the trouser. So yeah, no back pockets, but I'll do side seam pockets. So.
I probably won't use them, but it's nice for posing for photos.
So you can put your
it's nice just to
exactly.
Be like,
No, I get that.
I'm thinking about the pity pictures. Oh my god, this is so tragic. So shoulder-wise on the jacket, do you have a preference?
I think it's you need.
It depends on the fabric. It's reaction to the fabric.
Exactly, to the fabric, but also to I think the style of the jacket.
Absolutely.
So this is going to be the sort of style that we're going for, but because we're going to do it canvas, then we'll put the lining in and we're going to go slightly structured to your style that you normally go. I think like a roped shoulder would be quite nice. Yeah, we can do any style of shoulder. So we can do completely nothing to very structured, basically.
Yeah,
and
I don't
everything
want
in between.
super structured just because I'm very square-shouldered.
Okay, when I'm going to take your measurement, I'm really going to take that into account. So yeah, that's it really. Now it's the most important bit is actually taking the measurements. I'm going to just put you in a jacket just to see some of the fit tools which are visually important. So I'm just going to take your hair. As you mentioned before, you said you have square shoulders, which on women's wear it happens quite a bit actually.
Really?
So we're going to raise both shoulders, left and right, and then you've got a little bit square back neck, so I'm going to take that away, which means...
Sounds offensive.
It really does.
We're walking out of here with loads of new insecurities.
But that's the cool thing about made to measure or tailoring as a whole is that we can not hide, but it's fixing or it's visually improving the things that everyone has them. I have also got square shoulders.
For example, some people's pelvis is off, so when they get trousers made, they have to have trousers made to make it look straight.
Exactly that. So
what else
no
is wrong
insecurity.
What else is wrong?
Well, you shouldn't know insecurities. It's more like it's good for the video. Let's say.
Okay, yeah. That's right. So it's good for the people to.
We can talk about it.
Let's keep going.
I was looking at it, and you stand quite backwards with your arms.
Yeah.
So as you can see, if you turn around a little bit, maybe so the camera can see. So there's quite a pronounced pleat here. So we rotate the sleeve head in order to accommodate for that.
Okay.
By having done this for such a long time now, or I've seen many different body shapes, it's just these are the things for me which are visual on a garment instantly. So that's what I usually look out for. So like I said, shoulders are very important. Arms, sleeve pitch is very important. But other than that, I think this jacket looks very good on you.
It does actually, doesn't it?
We were saying the sleeve length is quite nice. We're going to let out the waist a little bit to create a bit more of a boxy shape for the jacket.
Because it's going to be cropped, it would be weird if it was more darted.
Cool, yeah. You can take the jacket off. I'm pretty happy with the result. Recap. We'll now be sending the fabric to the factory. We've chosen a double-breasted 6-button, like we have behind us, but in a cropped way and also a bit more structured. Then on the trousers, we're going to do 2 pleats with a turn-up and side adjusters. I've taken all the measurements, so that's all good. So like I said, we're now going to post this to the factory, and this should be ready in like 4, max 5 weeks, depending on if there's anything with the adjustment. So
fast.
Pretty fast. House collection is in 3 weeks because it's already at the factory. This is just basically the time it takes to ship to the production.
Yeah.
And then when it comes in, we'll do another fit in. Hopefully everything fits you just off the bat, and then you're very happy. If not, we'll do some alterations.
If not, I'll be putting in a complaints video officially on YouTube.
Yeah. Don't work with these guys. Yeah, I'm very excited about this because
me too.
I want to see it made up. It's beautiful fabric.
Such a beautiful fabric.
And so I can't wait to to see the finished product.
And also it looks, this is my whole thing, is it looks like it's not going to crease very badly because of the mix that it is.
It's the mix, exactly.
So, which is very important for me because I'm quite a scruffy person, I've got to be honest.
Bumping into
so I'm bumping into everything.
That's nice.
So yeah, I'm so excited, honestly.
Amazing.
And I'm so excited for people to see this because I feel like a lot of the time this is hidden away from people or they don't really know. And it's so good for people to see all these creatives out there doing things a little bit different and keeping things exciting.
I think you do a great job in highlighting these people. No, but it really is because, like I said, I didn't know your content, came across it, and I was instantly like hooked. So I'm very happy to be able to tell our story, my story, whatever, on here. But then also actually do something practical because you can talk about things.
Yeah.
You know,
but
but now we'll actually see something, which is exciting, I think.
Yeah, jobs are good and.
Yeah.
Oh my god!